Hey everyone, what's going on and welcome back to another little build. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make your very own paint booth. Have you ever had the need to paint something and you don't want to go through the hassle of setting up a whole paint area just for a little tiny paint job? Well, I'm going to be showing you how to make a paint booth that not only solves this problem, but it also will fold up for easy storage. Let's do this.
Making a simple paint booth is easy, however, I'm going to be making one that can fold down in order to store easily. In order to make this happen, I will be having 3 joints, one on the outside of the sides at a 45-degree angle, one attaching the back to the sides, and one attaching the sides to the bottom. This will allow the paint booth to fold almost flat. Also, something you should be aware of is your side lengths cannot add up to be more than the back of your paint booth. Also, another thing you should be aware of is that your sides should be as close to being square as possible. In order to do this, you will be needing wood, hinges, screws, and paint. The tools you will need for this project is a measuring tape, pencil, sander, circular saw, drill/screw gun, a drill bit, T-square, something to measure a 45-degree angle, clamps, and paint supplies. Now that we have all that, it's time to get started.
So, first thing you're going to do is when you figure out all your measurements for your paint booth, you're going to put down all the pieces that you need on your piece of plywood. So, once you're done with that, I highly suggest that you actually label your parts because you could get them mixed up later, and with the hinges and stuff, it could get a little complicated, so I just help you minimize your error. For the next step, please wear safety glasses because this is where you will cut, and splinters will go everywhere, so make sure you protect your eyes. So, for this next step, what you're going to do is you're going to grab your tool that can measure a 45-degree angle. You're going to line it up so it's exactly on the corner of your side pieces. And you're going to draw a line all the way across. When you cut that line, you should have 2 right triangles that are exactly the same, or at least close to. And this is where the labeling comes in, because you want to make sure that your left side 2 pieces stay on the left side, same with the right. Because then your cuts aren't going to be exactly the same, so your hinges may not line up exactly the way you want them. So that's why just label them and then you should be all good.
Like I said, try to make those 2 triangles as close to exactly the same as possible. Trust me, it'll come in handy later on. And of course, make sure you sand out those rough edges so you don't get any splinters.
So, now that all the cutting is done, you can set aside your circular saw. Now it's time to bring in the drills. For this step, you will need to measure a few more 45-degree angles with your tool, because you do need to make sure that in any joint, your hinges are perfectly straight aligned, or else they may not close all the way. That being said, let's get started.
I would recommend doing the sides first, that way you're only dealing with squares and rectangles later on. Once again, measure a 45-degree angle on both sides of the hinges, and then make sure that the hinge is centered. Once both sides are done, go ahead and attach them to the back side. And of course, make sure you double check, even triple check that the hinges are centered.
So unfortunately my camera cut out when I was having some difficulties. However, what I did was I essentially had this upside down. So this line was actually going this way. So if when you're building your own, make sure that the line or the cut they made on the side pieces are at the bottom, so that way it'll fold correctly. That being said, I now fixed that, so let's keep going.
In order to attach the sides to the bottom, support the sides and the back so they're slightly higher than the bottom piece. Once you do that, mark and drill your holes, and finally screw the hinges on. Of course, you could use 1 or 2 hinges on each joint, but just know that the more the hinges you use, the harder it is to align them.
Well, here's the final product. The only other thing that I did was I did add hinges, 2 more hinges. I'm not quite sure if you can see them down here, so now there are 2 hinges down on the bottom. That's only because I saw that this was kind of slacking, so it just needed a little bit extra support. As you can see, holds up very nicely. Now, if you follow the design that I did, your paint booth will not close all the way just like this. The reason that is because when you have a hinge, there is this gap that's going to be created, and that's just kind of amplified here. The only other solution that you can if you do want it to completely fold is if you actually cut a groove in the metal and then put your hinge in. However, I do not have the tools to do that, but if you do, feel free to do that. Now it's time to put away the drills and actually pick up the paintbrush. Time to paint a paint booth, which I think is kind of funny because you're painting a paint booth, which is what you're painting in. Never mind. Anyway, let's get to it. Well, here it is. Ta-da! Pretty cool. So, one last thing that I'm gonna do is, in order to keep it closed, I'm gonna add some Velcro to the sides in order to hold it shut. I'm gonna do this with a staple gun, just like stapling the Velcro right onto the wood. So. And there you go. Of course, you don't have to make it this big. You can make it smaller. I do have this one, which was my mock-up the other day to make sure that this concept will work. So you can make it multiple sizes and whatever works for you. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you have enjoyed. I also hope this helps you with your future painting projects. My name is Ian, and I hope I will be seeing you in the next little builds.